Hey guys, got something a little different for you here. This video is gonna be a practice session, what I do in practice. This particular practice is geared towards footwork movement and low round count. And that's kind of the theme as ammo, primers, and components become very difficult to get. So that's just where we're at. But anyways, it's going to be kind of a practice video and then mesh right into my last match or my next match after this practice. And so you can kind of see some of the things I implemented. So as you see here, it's just I'm shooting this steel twice and then a close target right after that second steel, then a little shuffle to those where you see the double yellow sticks, and I'm shooting the same target twice. It's about 15 yards, maybe not quite 15 yards, but right in that range with the no shoot. Here I'm showing you my time.
899.
Must have been happy with it.
That's my fastest one that's clean.
So basically I was working on a specific thing one way, turning to my left and backing out on that open target, and then I switched it. Now I'm going the opposite and shuffling now to my left. And as you see, I applied a no shoot to the right side. It was there on the other side. I didn't switch them. Basically just at that range, it really doesn't matter. It didn't really slow me down, maybe a little bit on a couple times if my dot entered into that white area, the no shoot area. But basically I'm just really focused on my footwork, entries, exit, my shuffle, and then continuing to move the gun, constantly move my body anytime I can, only pause for as little as possible. So obviously a lot of things going on in this particular practice, but not a lot of rounds, and I'm getting a lot done. I'm learning a lot, and I'm really putting in some good work here for not a lot of rounds, and that's all of them. I'm trying to push all my practices, find new ways to do that. Again, must have liked this one, or I didn't like it. I can't remember.
Behind on that one, but I got good hits. I was just thinking I was there sooner than I was.
So, yep, explosive. My workouts I've geared towards plyometrics and explosive movement, and just being in better shape. It's tough to do. You really have to make that choice and push yourself. Motivation isn't always there. Discipline can be if you train it.
It's over. So as you can see, I think I shot 220 rounds, just over 200 rounds. Trying to make my ammo go as far as I possibly can and learn as much as I can at every live fire. A little out of breath, sorry. Ran it a couple times in a row. Plus I'm out of shape for now. So anyways, what I got here, 3 paper targets, 2 steel. I've got a total, I've switched it back and forth as you'll see in the video. I shoot the same steel twice, as well as the middle paper twice. So I'm actually shooting two positions to start on the first steel. I'm backing out on this no shoot, putting myself in position on one of the middle spots to shoot the center target, paper target. Kind of shuffle step over to the next position for the same. Those are mimicking ports basically. And then turning to the open target as I come in to take the final steel. So it's 11 shots if you do it clean. I'm only loading 12, sometimes 11, to make sure that I'm obviously focused and going 1 for 1 on steel and making good shots. So the hits are really good. I had 1 no shoot in this whole practice down there, and it's when I got out of position. Basically, I overshot my third position here coming in on this side. I was clean all the way over here, going the opposite way, but I overshot it. I shot once in between the poles that mimic the port, and I just kept moving out of position just because I felt like I was behind. I was rushing it. And that's the whole point of it, is just to put you in, get your footwork lined up to get you in the correct positions. And that's kind of how I have this. This is a footwork drill, combining obviously with good sight pictures. I have some no shoots scattered with some, they're not really difficult mini poppers, but difficult enough when you want to go. They're just close enough to where you can go. You can kind of push speed, but just far away enough to where you can easily miss them if you don't make sure you're aiming for center and having a good sight picture. So anyways, this is a good little drill. I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to do this a little bit more. It's not unlike stuff I've done, but it works on a couple specific things that I wanted to address, which was footwork that puts me in the correct position to always be shooting. And this is something that you can kind of flow through, but you can get in trouble if you try to push too hard through that middle position and don't take those poppers serious enough, I guess, if you don't give them enough respect. So just always looking for new things to hone in my discipline, and that's what it's all about: consistency and discipline. It's real easy to look good on Instagram if you do enough runs, if you have the ammo, but when it comes time for a match and you put that to the real test, where you get one shot at it, a couple walkthroughs, and then you get one chance to put all your work to the test, that's where it really shows. So stuff like this really helps develop that, and it's something that I'm always continuing to work on and hone and sharpen, and it's what you need at that top level. So anyways, try it. Let me know what you think. If you can think of anything like this, or that's easier, less rounds. I'm looking for low round count practices that really, and I do dry fire through this too. So I'm trying to be disciplined with my live fire and dry fire walkthroughs, so that my dry fire really mimics my live fire time, and the fact that I'm giving the targets the respect they need to, if I were actually taking shots. So actually managing the recoil and reacquiring the sights on the target. Really disciplined in dry fire, over discipline in dry fire, and then in live fire, push and see what you can do. Dry fire, you can do, obviously push it. You just don't want to create bad habits. Is always, it's a fine line. You want to always be pushing past your limits without creating bad habits. So it's kind of like that: push past, bring it back, push past, bring it back. It's constant battle of tug of war between the two. But ultimately, that's the only way I see how to do it. That's the only way I've done it and learned how. And if there's a better way, please let me know, because it would be a lot easier, right? Magic pill, pop it in, and then we're all of a sudden the GMs, solid shooters, right? Well, unfortunately, I don't think that's the case in anything in life. So this is no different. Put in the work. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.
All right, first stage, the next match I shot after that practice. Remember, this started off, I was shooting slow, slightly over confirming and over aiming, and this swinger didn't quite, it was faster than I expected. I thought I could get 2 shots on it on the first pass, and I couldn't. So my start position, guns flat on the table, loaded, and everybody else kind of turned to their left to shoot those targets, but I thought it was more conducive to shoot the targets on the right, then take all those on the left, as you'll see, and then come back to the right, because I was going to finish on the front right corner, and I could move my way up more efficiently and put myself in a better position at the end of this stage here for that swinger. So here we go in slow-mo. Let's take one big step just to get my position to get those targets done. And this, I definitely could have shot these faster for how close they were, but I'm just really focusing on getting all my points this year. And I know that if I do that, my time, I'll get faster at it, basically. So instead of trying to be faster, I'm just going to do that. So I paused here so I could explain this swinger. I basically activated already. I'm going to shoot that popper and then shoot the open paper to the left and then come back to the swinger, which I do, and the swinger already went by. I thought I could get it at least one on it first pass, and I just couldn't. And then I just had one to finish over here. So I ended up getting the second pass one, and then third pass another one. Sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you think. And here is, you'll see a malfunction. I'm trying to train some mags for the end of this year, especially going for nationals, where they will hold 24 and run 24 plus 1. It was a good run. Besides that, it was a really smoking run. I really felt good with footwork. but as you see, it's just trying to train those mags. You got to see if it works. I haven't had a whole lot of time in practice to really put the time in, but super slow-mo, you get to see, oh, whoops. So yeah, I loaded 24 plus 1 to run the stage without a reload, but I wasn't 100% sure it would work, and I still got caught off guard. So I had to rack and go, and then obviously I had to do a reload because I couldn't figure it out in my head if I had enough still. I think I would have been one short. But the reload was really good. I was happy with it. And then my flow was really good. Had a couple extra shots, I think, just because I didn't see it in the center, like there. And steel was going really good so far on this day. This was a classifier. I forget the name of it, but I was really confident. I just put 100% down. The turn and draw, I would have shot a little sooner, but I aimed, and as you see in slow-mo, that second shot on that first target kind of moved off. It was just outside, not quite enough to put a layover on it, but it was really close to being 100%. Ended up being a 93%. This stage was a good stage. It allowed you to flow either way, and that flow is the word, because it allows you to kind of move through this, especially this front portion. Taking the holy monkey there that you can't really see on the left there. You probably just caught the end of it there. But I decided to start and go to the back right, take these 4 targets, and I just started on that bottom open one. It allowed me to get my position into the headshots across to the same height and then to the lower ones. And then these ones were just as I came to them. It was important. You had to go to that back corner to get that one. That's kind of why I determined to go the way I did, because I could stop here a little bit earlier and it just flowed a little bit better. And especially activating the holy monkey just allowed me, essentially it was just better flow for what I wanted to do. Here also, you can decide which way you wanted to go. I decided to go to the right because you had to go back there at some point. Some people went left, forward, then back. I just chose, it wasn't that far of a backtrack either way for me, and it just flowed better once I got to the left side to back to front. So that's kind of my decision making right there, as you can see. And it's real important. I just try to get in. I wanted to be a little quicker in this first position than I was. As you'll see, I wanted to just kind of plant and shoot these 2 basically on 1 foot and then continue on, kind of do a pause, balance on 1 foot, shoot them both, and then continue on. I think I ended up planting for a little bit longer than I wanted to get good shots, just over confirmation, a little over aiming, because again, my focus this year is get all the points I can, and then 1 for 1 on steel. I think this is the first stage I shot on this match where I had to make up some shots on steel too, actually. One was very quick, and then the other one I actually had to come back a little bit. I really thought I got the steel and moved off it, and that's such a costly mistake. So that's why it's important to get 1 for 1 on steel. So anyways, back into it. Start on the right and really try to get my footwork right, and I just ended up pausing a little bit longer than I wanted. Drop step, which wasn't quite intended that much, but then a little bit there too. But then coming around here, the position was important. As you see, I had to slightly adjust. Didn't hurt me too bad to get up in there. A lot of guys were taking it on the back corner first, but I liked the way this flowed. Take an extra shot. Steel there, it was pretty quick. Here was good, and then here I totally thought I hit that and then had to come back, which was costly. As you see, it really cost some extra time. Let that sink in. I just had to play it a couple times. And then around the corner for that one. And this was the last stage of the match. This was a fun one. All these builds are done the morning of, except for I think we built one the night prior. So they don't end up looking quite the same as they do on paper. And I wanted to end on a high note, so I attempted to do the hero run there. So it was a good start. It was hard to leave on that target as a difficult target and just keep the gun up through that. So particularly back to my practice going into this, keeping my gun up, and I was able to do that in this match, which I really liked. And on this last portion, tried to hero run it. The activator was the farthest left popper. So I tried to run the gauntlet, hit all the poppers, hit the open paper, and come back. I ended up getting my alphas because I had to wait on the second pass, second approach. So, and these are just highlights of me missing, I guess. But now as a practice I had, that was pretty fun. So anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.